What's going on, guys? It's Dialytics here, aka the Purple Durag Sage. Today we're going to be going over my PvP loadout, the mystic arts I use, inner ways, and why I also chose these weapons to use. Personally, they just feel right to me, but you can honestly use any weapons that you want to use, anything you're comfortable with, anything you have fun with, because that's what's most important. So let's get right into it. The first sword we're going to speak on is the Nameless Sword. So the first skill it has is a sword throw. Is a really good gap closer. It's also really good to use for interruptions. When I go against people using the umbrella that like to spam the freeze ability that it has, or the immobilize ability, if you can react in time, you do the sword throw, it'll completely interrupt that, and then you can continue on into a combo after hitting this on them. So as you see, you could do the sword throw, and then if you hit it again and again, it combos and ends in this shield. What this shield does is completely protects your ki, makes you immune to ki damage, which is basically like your toughness bar, for lack of a better word. The second skill on the Nameless Sword is this move here, where you kind of do a leap away. It's just a good get out move or get out tool. They're like smothering you down, using all their skills on you, gap closing on you. This is a good tool just to use, just to get away. Maybe you can charge your heavy attack and throw a projectile out. Maybe you could charge it, do a feint with a parry. There's many options you could do. If you do hit it again, you leap towards them. So it could be used as a gap closer as well as a getaway. So now after you've hit that sword throw on Nameless, you did the full combo with it, you got your ki shield up, then you're going to do the weapon swap skill and swap right into the strategic sword. Now this sword, complete burst damage, complete annihilation. I just love this weapon. Its first skill, you're going to be pretty much just slashing, and then this AoE move that you just saw go off is part of the inner way for this sword. It takes away all the bleed stacks on them and does a big burst of bleed damage on them. So after you do this combo, boom, bleed damage, then you can follow up with the second skill, which adds stacks back onto them. So it's just bleed on bleed on bleed. I love this weapon. It bursts down enemies pretty quickly. And it's a really good sword to use. Sometimes for the second skill on the strategic sword, what I like to do is, because normally I'll get an opponent down and like have their toughness bar broken, and I'm just comboing away on them, adding bleed, exploding the bleed, and then I'll quickly hit the second skill to add just a couple stacks of bleed onto them. Just like those couple of slashes, and then I'll immediately execute so I can stay near them, and then they'll also still have those bleed stacks stacked on them. So for the mystic arts that I use, the first one's going to be Drunken Poet. This one you take a sip, and then as you hit the skill more and more, you do Drunken Fist combos. Mainly I use it for that first sip that you've seen there. For the second ability I'm going to talk about, which is Dragon's Breath, where you just breathe fire on everyone. I kind of do this at the beginning of a fight because I know they're going to either close in on me or I'm going to go in on them. So I want to have that drink to make you intoxicated, because it gives you an intoxicated buff. This right here. While active, you can cast Longfire Breath and Drunken Poet without drinking again. So that immediate Dragon's Breath is really good for the end of your combos. The next mystic art is going to be Dragon's Breath. I'm sure you've seen this a ton of times where people just breathe fire. While you do this, you do have super armor active and damage reduction, and it also puts ignite debuff on the enemy, where it just does basically a bunch of tick damage on them. It's really good in fights because it whittles down their HP, and then as you go along, before you know it, they'll be dead. A lot of times too, I've won off of this fire damage because it just keeps ticking their HP down, and they don't even notice it themselves. So it's really good. All right, next one's going to be Wolflike Frenzy. With this, you just leap forward and you slam the bamboo stick down, and then launch the opponent up. It looks like it launches them up, but in the description it says it knocks them down. I think it launches them up, but either way, they get launched. This is a really good gap closer as well. Just another tool that you can use to gap close, to add to your combo, anything like that. It can't be. I think it can be parried. I don't think I've seen it too much. Pretty much everyone gets hit by it, so so I'm not 100% sure on being able to block or parry it, but I haven't seen it. But it is a really good gap closer, and it can throw your opponent off as well. Next, we're going to talk about the most important skill, Serene Breeze. This is basically your burst. If you're a fighting game player like me, it's basically your burst, your combo breaker, your stun break. It lets you escape out of any CC. So your opponent, if they're good, they'll probably try to bait this out. And if they do bait it out, they'll just kind of just move away from you, see you use it, and then go back to comboing you. And then you'll be stuck in there for a long time because you'll have this skill on cooldown. But this is the most important skill that you need. I've seen a lot of people not have it in PvP, specifically in Arena. I just basically 100 to 0 them because they don't have the skill equipped. I don't know why they don't, because it is literally the most important one. Like, if you don't have any other ones, as long as you have that one, you might have a chance to win. The other ones are just nice additives, but the Serene Breeze is a must have. Must have. Honorable mention for Mystic skills, the Meridian's Touch in PvP, you do kind of like a dash forward and poke them. It's good to use as like a gap closer if their key is completely empty and you can get an execute off. You can throw this out and then execute from like pretty much far range. So it can be used for that. The Lion's Roar, I don't really use this. I just kind of have this there, but it can throw your opponent off. It stuns them the entire time you're roaring. So it could be used. And also combos with the Toad Leap if you do have that skill as well. It makes the poison blow up into the poisonous cloud. If I notice that the opponent is blocking a lot, I'll switch to this, to the Yorkshire Rush. This breaks their guard and launches them up into the air, and then you can combo from there. And last but not least, Cloud Steps. It's a good alternative to Wolflike Frenzy. It's another gap closer that's also cheaper in vitality. For the inner ways, currently I just have Morale Chant in there as a placeholder. I'm just testing out some other ones to see exactly what I could replace it with, if anything is better. This just stacks up physical damage. The more you hit the opponent, it stacks up to 5 times. If you level it, I do think this is really good. The physical pen that you get by 2 each stack, so it'd be a total of 10 physical pen. So that could be really nice. The Sword Horizon for the strategic sword, that adds that AoE that I showed you earlier, that blows up all the bleed stacks and deals high bleed damage at once. 5-fold bleed for this, it also adds bleed onto your attacks. So as you see where I'm going with this, it's just constant bleed, constant dots. It's just constant damage. That's what we want. And lastly, I'm still kind of figuring out what to put here. I have Bitter Seasons for now. But what this does is the more you hit them, it applies poison, and if the poison is on them, it lowers their physical defense by 0.6% for 10 seconds, and this also stacks up to 5 times. But like I said, this is kind of just here right now because I believe it's good. It's been working, but like I said, there's probably a better option out there. I just haven't tested around and seen exactly yet. So at this moment, a lot of people talk about the meta weapons and weapons that everybody is using pretty much. Um, I see people using the DPS umbrella. It's mainly for this freeze. This freeze is really hard to see coming sometimes, and it also freezes you for 3 seconds, which is kind of crazy. All you have to do is dodge it. You can't parry it. You can't block it with a regular block. You have to dodge. Sometimes with the game right now, the netcode isn't that great. So sometimes it could look like it missed you, and then all of a sudden you're hit, you're frozen, and you're getting comboed. But yeah, a lot of people use the umbrella. Also the Nameless Spear. They mainly use this also for the freeze. Immobilize, you're immobilized for 2 seconds. This one is really fast and close range, so it's kind of hard to stop. You just have to kind of get a feel for your opponent on when they want to use it, and then try and call it out if you can. And the last one I also see used quite often is going to be the Inkwell fan. They put up this wall, and you can't run through it. You can't send projectiles through it. And then they also just try to knock you up with this, and then they get an air combo after they knock you up. So this is mostly what I see in my ranks, at least. What I mainly see is Nameless Spear and actually the Moblade. The Moblade, people just try to abuse the shield on it that it has. And also this move here is like a vacuum pull. And this move is really annoying because they have super armor while they're doing it. So it can be very annoying in PvP. But if you figure out that they're just going to spam this, you can figure out how to deal with it. It's not that hard. You can also block and or parry this as well. All right, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to throw up some PvP matches I played from some guys in the Midnight Blade sect. They just wanted to do some guild hall runs. Actually, PvP in the guild hall I feel like is the best currently. So if you want to practice, I'd suggest going in there. It's really good, really clean. Doesn't feel laggy like Arena does. But yeah, let me know what you guys think on this. And maybe I'll do some more, some other weapons, testing them out and such. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.